All right, gentlemen, I just got this handed to me. A hit-and-run felony at Ray's Cafe, 208 North Los Angeles. Got a patrolman on site. The coroner's on his way. Get down there, see if you can find any witnesses who can put a make on the car.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Bronco, can you give me a hand? I got a hard case I got
for dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
You know the way. You can drive.
Looks like the DA is going to press charges. Anna Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the DA. She suffered enough.
I don't know, Cole. She's an easy make, and the DA likes convictions.
I'll convince him to let it go.
How you do that?
I'll give him something better.
Detectives, over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Vic is a white male named Lester Patterson. Walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there, and he ended up here. Dead on impact by the look of it.
Have you canvassed the area?
The only one with anything useful to contribute is the young lady over there. She lives above the bar. Her name is Shannon Perry. No, it's not a stage name. 24 years old, she left Kansas to follow the yellow brick road.
Is that so?
We'll take a formal statement later. Right now, we're going to take a look around.
Phelps, you should take a look at the body. Poor guy didn't stand a chance.
I landed on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind. We can notify next of kin. Patterson has life insurance. What have you got on the victim?
From all reports, he was intoxicated at the time of the accident. I'll know how intoxicated once I've done the autopsy. Looking him over now, I'd say he died on impact.
What about the chest wound? Isn't that inconsistent?
Very common in auto injuries. Look for a car with a prominent hood ornament. Those things are killers.
Body traveled a good 20 feet.
She's all yours, Detective.
This blood is a long way from the body. Car must have been going like a bat out of hell. So the driver managed to brake before the impact. Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I came to the window because I heard people arguing downstairs.
Then what happened?
I saw a car hit that poor man and knock him down the street.
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
Did you see the license plate?
Only the first three letters, I'm afraid. 3C8.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were two voices. A man and a woman, that's all.
Go on.
Then a third person. Another man got involved.
Thank you, Miss Perry. Your information has been very helpful. You can go now.
You really think so? I hope you find that driver and put him away.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
I'll take the bartender. You work the rest of the room. I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Your name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So you didn't see what happened?
By the time I got out there, it was all over.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah, Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Not one of your favorite customers?
Lester was special, but not my kind of special.
Was Lester drinking alone?
No, he came here with his wife. She didn't seem too interested in the booze, though.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
What was it about?
Who knows? The slightest thing could set those two off.
Stalling just makes us more inquisitive, Lynch. We'll get to the bottom of this.
All right, gentlemen, I just got this handed to me. A hit-and-run felony at Ray's Cafe, 208 North Los Angeles. Got a patrolman on site. The coroner's on his way. Get down there, see if you can find any witnesses who can put a make on the car.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
I'm just praying the prints come through so I can nail this.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Looks like the DA is going to press charges. And Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the DA. She suffered enough.
I don't know, Cole. She's an easy make, and the DA likes convictions.
I'll convince him to let it go.
How do you do that?
I'll give him something better.
Detectives, over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Thick as a white male named Lester Patterson walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there, and he ended up here, dead on impact by the look of it.
Have you canvassed the area?
The only one with anything useful to contribute is the young lady over there. She lives above the bar, name is Shannon Perry. No, it's not a stage name. 24 years old, she left Kansas to follow the yellow brick road.
Is that so?
We'll take a formal statement later. Right now, we're going to take a look around. I landed on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind. Patterson has life insurance. We can notify next of kin. What have you got on the victim?
From all reports, he was intoxicated at the time of the accident. I'll know how intoxicated once I've done the autopsy. Looking him over now, I'd say he died on impact.
What about the chest wound? Isn't that inconsistent?
Very common in auto injuries. Look for a car with a prominent hood ornament. Those things are killers.
She's all yours, Detective.
Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I came to the window because I heard people arguing downstairs.
Then what happened?
I saw a car hit that poor man and knock him down the street.
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
Did you see the license plate?
Only the first 3 letters, I'm afraid. 3C8.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were 2 voices. A man and a woman, that's all.
Why are you holding out on us, Miss Perry?
I'm sorry. I was hoping to tell my story to the newspapers. I'd like to get my picture in the paper. Trying to find work as an actress, and things look pretty difficult.
Cough it up, sister. We don't have all night.
People arguing? They were husband and wife. I could tell by what she was yelling. Intimate things. Very embarrassing for the man.
Thank you, Miss Perry. Your information has been very helpful. You can go now.
You really think so? I hope you find that driver and put him away.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
I'll take the bartender. You work the rest of the room. I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Your name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So what was he doing outside? It's against licensing regulations to drink on the sidewalk.
Esther and Lorna were having a fight. The owner made him take it outside. It was pretty ugly.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Why do I get the feeling you're holding out on me?
I'm not trying to hide anything. Just if it's all the same to you, I'd rather not speak ill of the dead.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
Why was Lorna Patterson in such a hurry to leave? What is going on here?
Lorna was pretty upset, so Leroy took her home. Lorna and Leroy are close. They've been talking about opening a new bar.
Leroy?
Leroy Sabo, the owner.
How long have Lorna and Leroy been talking about this new bar?
Who knows? I just served the drinks.
Bartenders hear all sorts of things. Are you going to tell me, or do we have to start playing rough?
When Lester was drinking, he treated Lorna like dirt. He gambled away all their money. Lorna pitched Leroy about the bar. I don't know how interested he is.
Is Leroy doing well?
Hell no. The only thing keeping this place afloat are the poker games.
Thanks for your help, Lynch. I'm going to need you to sign a statement with the patrolman.
Sure, no problem.
You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away. They liked watching Lester and Lorna go a few rounds every other day. And Lester was a fan of the love tap.
How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need to run a partial license plate, 3 Charles 8. Cross-check possible Lincoln owners. Suspect vehicle is a red Lincoln Continental.
Just a moment, Detective. Only one possible make on that license. Registered to a William Shelton, 738 West Temple Street.
Thanks for your help.
Looks like we caught a break on this one. Lucky break getting the partial ID. These cases are usually dead in the water after 24 hours if no one comes forward.
Why don't they just stop?
You heard about fight or flight during the war?
Sure. Never back your enemy into a corner. That kind of stuff?
Right. Well, in a hit and run, the perp is already in flight. It's easier to keep going. It takes a degree of moral courage to stop and accept responsibility.
You're not as dumb as you make yourself out to be, are you, Stefan?
I didn't know I was making myself out to be dumb.
Take it easy, Phelps. I'd rather get there in one piece.
All units in the vicinity, see the security guard at 459 there now at 536 South Figueroa. Unit to ammo code 2, identify.
11K, go ahead KGPL.
There now, 536 South Figueroa Street at Bolsher's Textiles. 4 male suspects released.
Where the hell have you been? 4 punks been helping themselves to the suits.
Oswald Jacobs? You work here?
Goddamn right I do. I've been watching the place for 10 years, waiting for something like this.
Calm down. goes to the suspects.
You go first. How about I back you up?
LAPD! Stay down. Stay in cover. Find some cover!
Car 11K. Shots fired and suspects are down. We're code 4 here, but I'll need an ambulance at 536 South Figueroa Street, Holcher's Textiles. Also notify a supervisor and the coroner.
11K, roger on the ambulance and coroner, and I'll notify your supervisor. All units, 11K advises code 4 on the shooting at Holcher's Textiles. The suspect... Suspects are down, code 4.
Can you drive to this one? son of a bitch right there. William Shelton?
Yes?
It doesn't look good, Shelton. You packing your bags and making a run for it? You know why we're here.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut, Shelton.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
No wonder he killed someone, driving like this.
Lay into his wheel arches. Come on.
Don't let that asshole get away.
All right, I give up.
That's it. Hands behind your head. How does a vehicular manslaughter rap sound, Shelton?
I hit him. I admit it. I just panicked, but it wasn't my fault.
What do you mean?
The guy jumped right out in front of me. He came out of nowhere. There's nothing I could do about it.
Why didn't you stop?
I've had accidents before.
That's it. We're done here. The DA is gonna love you.
They weren't all my fault. I'm a surveyor. I need my license for my job. There were people around. A woman and a man were standing right next to him. I thought they could get him to a hospital. I'm telling you, it's not my fault.
The guy is dead, Shelton.
You can't be serious.
William Shelton, you're coming downtown. We need to talk about a manslaughter charge.
Leave the coroner and the paperwork. Procedure can wait. We should probably go speak to the wife and let her know what's happening.
Okay. You become all heart at the prospect of paperwork, don't you?
You believe him? I believe he didn't mow down the victim on purpose. The rest of it stinks. His boo-hoo story about being a surveyor and not wanting to lose his license.
Well, we'll see how he enjoys surveying the same tiny room for the next 10 years of his life. You make a mistake, you face the consequences. You don't run off and hide like some little girl hoping it'll all go away.
People make bad decisions in the heat of the moment.
Well, I'd like to see him try that one on the judge. If he had time to clock who was at the scene, he had time to make a choice.
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
We wanted to give you the facts about the accident, ma'am.
I appreciate that, but I think I know most of them already, Detective. He was hit by a car, now he's dead. What more is there to tell?
Pardon me, but you don't appear to be too upset about it.
Lester and I met on a furlough in '44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick together this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here, and
Beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister.
It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You expect me to believe that, Lorna? It's all very convenient.
Gambling for Lester was like the needle for a hophead. He was yelling at me. He was yelling at the whole world. I kind of felt sorry for the driver. Poor guy had no chance.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it. You were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
The bartender said that you and Leroy were planning to go into business together. Can you explain how you'll get the money to do that?
I have a little money saved away.
You're being economical with the truth, Lorna.
You want to back that up, little man?
You increased the premium on Lester's life insurance. GI insurance policies have a $10,000 payout.
It was Leroy's idea. Lester lived on the edge. He was always getting into fights, crap games, pinochle, you name it. Turns out it was good advice.
It speaks to motive and premeditation, Lorna.
You're forgetting the hit-and-run detective.
You and Mr. Sabo have an interesting day.
I'm sure we will, officer. Now, if you could both just leave.
We're leaving, ma'am. Sorry for your loss. I can see what a tough time you're having with all this. Come on, Phelps. Let's make ourselves scarce.
I'm out of here, Lorna. I got a business to run.
You think Mal is done with the autopsy? Better call it in and check, Phelps. Between the driver and the widow, I say we start dealing with the facts.
Solve that big case.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Patterson autopsy.
Thanks, ma'am.
Ah, you're gonna kill someone!
units also needs assistance. 540 West 9th Street at Uncle Sam's Army Supply. 540 West 9th Street. Unit can handle code 2. Identify.
Straight on here. You need to take the next left. You'll be taking the next right.
Our units also needs assistance. 540 West 9th Street at Uncle Sam's Army Supply. 540 West 9th Street.
I don't know what you're talking about. We weren't doing nothing.
I've seen you little sons of bitches prowling around my store. I'll show you. I'll teach you not to.
Sir, drop the weapon. You've been drinking, sir. You don't really want to.
3 times I've been robbed. Ain't nothing gets done about it.
Look out, more of them. Put them down.
Games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
You're fucking tough.
"11 King calling KGPL. I've been involved in a shooting. Suspects are down. Need an ambulance to 540 West 9th Street. It's a code 4. Notify a supervisor and a coroner."
Roger, 11K. All units be advised. Suspects are down at 540 West 9th Street. Shooting at Uncle Sam's Army Surplus is code 4.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Solve that big case. Son, you're a couple of slates. Not on your life, Buster.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture reached his heart.
You're kidding me.
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife. Length of a bayonet.
So the hit and run was a cover-up?
I'd say he was stabbed twice at very close quarters. Both wounds thrusting upwards and then pushed in front of the car.
Easy, Tiger.
Clever, really. I almost missed it. The trajectory of the wounds was all wrong if he was impaled by the hood ornament. Find the knife, detectives.
Yes, sir.
It all comes back to the crime scene. We need to hit Ray's one more time and trawl for evidence.
So there was some truth to Sheldon's cock and bull story after all.
He didn't stop, but he didn't kill Patterson either.
I'm no betting man, but I know where I'd put all my chips.
A grieving widow and her shoulder to cry on.
Now all we need is a murder weapon. You're taking the next left. Next right.
Lester could be a heel,
We just wanted
but
to check the crime scene over one more
that's
time.
a lousy
Mr.
way for
Sabo.
anyone to go out.
If that's all right.
Can you be quick about it? Cops are bad for business.
Really? We'll tiptoe, Sabo. You won't even notice us. All right, step by step, check every inch of ground.
So this is why everybody comes to Ray's.
Sure Carruthers will confirm this as the murder weapon. Let's talk to Leroy. See him explain his way out of this. Leroy Sabo, you're under arrest for the murder of Lester Patterson.
Not gonna happen, fellas. Go! I'll bring the car around and head him off.
It's too late, Sabo. Sabo, stop or I will shoot!
He's making for the roof, Cole! The fire escape, quick!
You look spooked, Phelps. I thought you'd been under fire before.
It never gets any easier, Bukowski. Have patrol pick up Mrs. Patterson.
So, I give you a hit and run. You bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth. You got some sharp elbows on you, detective. I like that. Keep up the good work.
Phelps, Bukowski. Beat cop says he located a green Kaiser Fraser from the hot sheet. Address is 6 West 2nd Street. Get over there and see what you can find out. Go on. Sorry to inconvenience you.
We're on it, Captain. I swear the more bent cars we bring in, the longer the hot sheet gets.
It pays the rent, though. Keeps Mrs. Phelps in the manner to which she's accustomed.
I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
Passionate, romantic type like you, Cole? I don't believe a word.
We got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
He's dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
You're behind the wheel.
They're calling her the Dahlia now. Wonder what Veronica Lake makes of that one.
What a case. You hear whether they're making any progress?
Captain Donnelly seems to think they have it all wrapped up. Brown and Green are sweating this Manley character. I heard it'll be in front of a grand jury by next week.
Poor thing. Terrible enough being murdered like that without having your death strewn all over the front pages.
That's the car, Cole. Just pulling out of the drive. Get it. Remember, we need him healthy enough to answer questions.
1247, Detective Phelps, requesting immediate backup in pursuit of a stolen green Kaiser Fraser from 6 West 2nd Street.
Lay into his wheel arches. Come on. Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
All right.
Up.
Maybe that was a couple miles
Show me your
over the
hands.
speed limit.
Get bracelets.
Out of the car now!
I'll call it.
Why did you run from us?
I saw a big car in my rearview mirror with two tough guys bearing down on me. What would you do?
What's your name?
Cliff Harrison.
You're under arrest.
For what? What are you talking about?
Nice try. I'm talking about the car being stolen.
You're out of your mind. I bought the car, and I've got the paperwork to prove it.
Looks like we'll have some questions for the people at Coombs Automotive. You purchased this car from Coombs Automotive Company?
Yeah, that's right.
And the ownership papers?
From the same place.
If this is a forgery, it's top-notch. This will need to be traced. You have a criminal record, Mr. Harrison?
No, nothing like that.
You better give us something, Cliff, or we're gonna make this hard on you.
I didn't steal the car. I ran because I've got some wacky backy in the glove compartment.
How much, Cliff?
1 reefer.
We'll let it slide. You're in enough trouble. Who did you deal with at Coombs Automotive?
The owner, Richard Coombs.
And he made out the bill of sale personally?
Of course he did. He kept a facsimile for his records. Check with him.
We're going to get to the bottom of this, Harrison. Until we do, you're going downtown.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm getting arrested for buying a goddamn car?
If everything is legit, Harrison, you'll be out soon. Until then, if I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut.
Bag his possessions as evidence and have him arraigned for grand theft auto.
Right, Detective.
Do you know who my father is?
We need to get to Coombs Auto and check out Harrison's story.
You know the way. You can drive.
Do we know where we're going?
You know what? I think he's telling the truth.
Some of the most convincing people you will ever listen to are born liars. Usually they're called politicians.
Not another step. I have got a Buick Century sedan that would be absolutely perfect for you.
Detective Phelps, LAPD, are you the owner?
That's right. Richard Coombs at your service. You looking to trade in a black and white, boys?
Mr. Coombs, we're investigating an auto theft. A man by the name of Cliff Harrison claims he bought the car here.
Well, some people would say that my cars are a steal. That's a joke, son.
Very amusing, Mr. Coombs.
I remember Harrison. It was a green two-tone Kaiser Frazer, if I remember rightly.
Do you have the bill of sale?
It's in my office. Walk this way. That's a joke, too, son.
Phelps, you mind if I shoot this guy? He's getting on my nerves.
Here it is. Got the original pink slip there, too.
Gene Archer, 146 North Fremont Avenue. Harrison's purchase receipt was legit, at least. We have a couple of questions.
All right, fellas. Shoot.
Can you tell us how you came to buy the car?
Girl just wandered in right off the street.
Nothing unusual about the car.
Not really my usual type of vehicle. The price was certainly right, though. Nice girl, but about as sharp as a bag of wet mice.
Did you pay with check or cash?
A check. She wanted it made out to cash, but I insisted. Man has to watch his cash flow.
What name?
I made it out to Gene Archer on the Bank of Arcadia.
Can you describe this Gene Archer?
Brunette, maybe 25, 26. Little on the plump side, but not bone ugly.
What was your impression of her?
Kind of harried and harassed, in a hurry to go somewhere, but no place to go. You get to know the type.
Do you know anything about the company that prints these pink slips?
Nope. Should I? It isn't exactly my business.
These pink slips are leading us to something big, Coombs. It's time to stop being cute.
I'm going to assume you're having a bad day, son. I sell cars, not paper.
When exactly did you hand over the check, Mr. Coombs?
Close of play on Friday.
So with the banks closed over the weekend,
I might be able to stop payment.
this was all above board.
Yes, of course it was.
Did this look legitimate to you, Coombs?
I'm in used cars, son, not bearer bonds. In my business, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Now don't come on all high and mighty with me if you want my help.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Coombs. We need to continue the investigation.
Hope you sort out your problem with Mr. Harrison. Go easy on him, son. Boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. He's built too low. The fastballs fly over his head.
Let me shoot this guy, please. You have a pleasant day, Mr. Coombs.
Well, Harrison might be off the hook, but we can still run an APB on Gene Archer. Get on the horn and call it in.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Requesting an APB on Gene Archer, age approximately 25, on suspicion of Grand Theft Auto.
I'll relay the information.
I need an address on a Marquee Printing Company.
Marquee Printing Company, sure. Just a moment. Aliso Street, near San Pedro.
Messages for me, please.
A James Velasco is being held at Central Station on suspicion of GTA. Possible link to the Harrison case. They're waiting on you to conduct the interview.
Thank you.